I just had to get my tires changed. Yesterday I had to come back because one of them was going flat. Matter of fact, it was this one right here. So since I was over here, I didn't realize that the tire shop that I'll go to is so close to the stadium. So I was like, I'm gonna go park somewhere inconspicuous like, and I'm gonna take off. And it's supposed to look pretty. It's nobody out there, I don't think. You know, I can't, this is completely illegal when there's a game going on, but nobody over there, so. Drone right here in the car. I would do a pretty hand takeoff, but kind of in a rush because I don't want somebody to show up and be like, hey, you're not supposed to be over here, because this area looks kind of security-y, right? So make sure there's nothing coming up. Got some wires here, no planes. All right, got it recorded. I'm gonna do a hand takeoff anyway. It's pretty fun. So so we're recording now. All right, I'm not gonna be in the sky too long. I just got a flight warning, so I'm checking for planes. I don't see no planes. Supposed to be doing this with somebody else, but I don't have that luxury right now. Not gonna be in the sky that long. Try to fly pretty slow and intentional. There she blows. While I go up, let's. All right, still no planes. Oh, shoot, are there people in there? Oh no, that's just how the seats are. Still no planes. I'm at 250 feet right now. Ah, man. This is so cool. All right, so I'm currently at 380 feet. I'm gonna do a nice little orbit. Still don't see any planes. I see my drone is in pure view, clear view. There's no clouds, very clear skies. Right now I'm just doing a little orbit here. Very good. We are going at 20 miles an hour. I'm just gonna open it wide up. Go a little faster, 40 miles an hour. Still looking very nice. Now you can tell me if I'm wrong, but the field doesn't look painted or anything. I have never been inside of Williams-Brice Stadium, so all right, I'm gonna bring it back because I got a half orbit. I don't need to do the whole orbit, but I'm gonna do one of these where you look straight down and just fly. Still higher than everything. You can see the Gamecocks like very subtly. So if you made it this far, then you've seen the drone fly over, you've seen a lot of the overhead shots that I've done. But now we're just gonna go and look at the before and afters because I already went through the editing process. I explained everything, my goals, and my intentions. In another video, I'm gonna go ahead and do all of that. But since the pictures are already edited and exported, I figured let's just show the before and afters. Take a look at that. You know, since we already saw the videos, let's look at the photos. So the first one I want to take a look at is the one we're looking at right now, which this is the very first picture that I took. Like I said, this is as far as away as I wanted to get without the stadium starting to look like a part of the background, right? And as you can see, it's, you know, it's decent, but I went and took, you know, I increased the exposure, I increased the saturation a little bit. I did some effects to the colors. One thing I've learned, saturation and vibrance, it helps a lot, especially if you're editing something that's just a JPEG. I forgot to switch this back to RAW. I was doing some experiment with JPEG on the drone. Forgot to switch it back to RAW, so I was taking all JPEG photos. Luckily, it's still, you know, a 4K photo. It's still a very big file, but it's not a RAW. So it wasn't much I could do to the colors outside of normal, boosting the reds, heightening the green, the blues, and sharpening certain things like that. But because the processing of today's photo editing, JPEGs are not safe from your work. You can tear a JPEG up almost as close as you used to have to do for a RAW. Now, JPEGs are so cool to work with depending on what you're doing. Now, obviously, there's tons of processing here. Like if you zoom in this tree, for example, look at all of this. It's a mess, right? Now, that doesn't exactly mean it's just because it's a JPEG, but if it was RAW, I'd probably have a little bit more to work with as far as editing this. But for the most part, you can't tell. That's called pixel peeping, what I just did. That's the only way you'll know that something's going on, is if you zoom all the way in. As a photo right here, this is great. This is all I need it for. Just another back and forth again. I also talked about briefly these colors. Like I said, I'll go right into it real quick. The reason this purple is down, believe it or not, purple shows up in blacks a lot in photos. So if we go here, let's look at this. This shade over here had a lot of purple in it, and so I like to turn down the purples, right? Put that back. And blues also show up in white sometimes, like here in white shadows. So like on people's shirts, sometimes blues will show up. So I'll just go over here and turn that down. I don't like to take it all the way away, because there is something to be had with some natural colors in or natural bleed in your shadows, right? There's value there, because that's what our eyes see as well. You don't want to take away too much of it unless that's the route you're going. If you're going in some artificial route, that's fine. But other basic things like this is the sky color. I turned that down. It was too strong. This was the greens. I turned that up because I wanted that field to pop just like it's. Look at that. That field is popping. This is how it looked before. Whoa! And my screen went out for some reason. All right. Anyway, so let's check the recording, because as soon as something weird like that happens, all right, cool, we good. So anyway, look at the green. Let's go ahead and backspace on that. So you see how that looked right there. It was a little dull, and picked that up. Of course, I did some reds just because there's a ton of red stuff around here. And this is another shot, by the way. This is the other picture. But I jumped ahead on accident because my screen went out. I don't know what happened to my screen. But anyway, so looking at this picture too, this is a side shot of the subject. So we got the Williams-Brice front. I guess it's the front gate maybe or something. I haven't been to the stadium. I was there in 2008 for, I was on Timbaland marching band, and we played with Hand in Hand for Barack Obama and Oprah, and she broke the chair, and that was hilarious. I mean, if that happened now, how popping social media is, that would have been a meme for the next decade, or at least internet decade, which is probably only a year, but it would have felt like a long time. That would have been popping around. But yeah, so let's look at the finished product. So we have this one. Look how bright everything is. It's all vibrant. The sky, I also try to get the sky in as much as possible on some of these, just because of how much of a contrast it was. On a beautiful day like this, when you have the greens everywhere and then you have some reds, there's nothing like some blue to kind of offset that warmth, and it's a nice contrast when you're talking about just overall composition and overall color editing. Now, again, I'm not a colorist or a color grading person or whatever. I said colorist. I'm not a color grading person or whatever you call it. And this is the before for that. This is the after. Now, you can see I actually cropped this one a little bit. So at the top there, at the skyline or the horizon, you can see it's a little crooked, right? I didn't want to mess with it too much because I did like my composition of the, of the actual stadium here. So I cropped just enough, and it actually helped the stadium's composition. But this is just a straight on shot. We got a little bit of balance over here. It's about the same, a little less. But overall, I think this might be my favorite, honestly. Get a clear view of the cockpit. And then the last one here is this shot. This one might actually be my favorite, now that I think about it, because you get the cockpit, but you also get right over the stadium, right over the field, and then you get some of this. Now, I just wish that this field was in season, or at least painted. I'm pretty sure, because football season should have started already. Well, I'm not gonna look that up right now. But I don't know how often they paint these things. Do they paint the stadiums every day? I mean, not every day, every week, or how do they do that? I don't know the process, but I mean, they clearly cut this grass. This grass is like it was digitally processed. That thing is clean, boy. But anyway, yeah, maybe I can come out when, you know, the logo is in the middle and these are all garnered in black on the outside and everything else is pretty. But you know, for the most part, this is a fun little shoot to do. I've always looked at the Williams-Brice Stadium and knew that one day I would shoot it, just because I shot so many high schools and got so many pictures. I did 4 counties of high schools. I'm gonna do them all over because I didn't really like my style back then. At that time, I think it was in 2024 when we first tried the idea. I didn't have good audio. The videos were kind of weird. I mean, I didn't really, you know, do much. I mean, honestly, it's probably good. It's probably good to just post them, and I probably need to just post them. But I'm being a little anal. At that time, I don't think I was as comfortable just posting stuff. So that's probably in my head. I need to just look back at them again. Maybe they are fine, but I am operating off of Josh's old perspective about those videos, and he thinks that they weren't good enough to post. But I think right now I probably don't even care. You probably don't even care. You probably do want to see them. But anyway, yeah. So this could be a start, a refreshment, you know, of that old idea, trying to go around South Carolina and getting all of the high school football stadiums, but then also, you know, let's go to Clemson, you know, let's go to South Carolina State University, let's go to Benedict, let's get all of the college football stadiums in South Carolina. So that'll be kind of fun. And then on the way we get all of the high school ones. I've gotten Berkeley, I've gotten Charleston County, I've gotten Orangeburg County, I got Richland 2. I think it's Richland 2, right? Isn't it Westwood and Ridgeview? Isn't that Richland 2? I think it's Richland 2. But anyway, if you want to see some stuff like this, man, you know, let me know. I appreciate all your comments and all your suggestions. If you got anything you think I should do, if you got a school you want to see, go ahead and put in a request. You know, I might see it and I might follow up. But I'm not gonna keep talking because I'm a ramble boy. We're gonna be here all day. So until next time.